Hello dear ones, very happy to meet you in this personality development session and leadership series. So for the past 2 weeks I've been meeting you in a different way. Okay, 1 week there was a webinar, 1 hour webinar. I wanted to bring you that video and I was not so very happy with the outcome, so I couldn't give that to you. And the other week I had done 1 hour leadership recording for you, training recording for you. That again is being refined more, so that really becomes an effective part of our YouTube videos. So I'm very happy once again to come back into our series, leadership series that we are right now doing. And today I have taken up this wonderful author Stephen Covey, who is an American businessman, keynote speaker, author, okay, who has given us this beautiful book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And as we have always seen, good leaders are good readers. And for you to become a good reader, the first book that you can start with is Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which is a wonderful book which inside 7 points he sums up all the qualities that a leader needs to have. So to start with, he says be proactive. And what is the opposite of proactive is reactive. After something happens, you really you feel like you shouldn't have done it. Why did I do that? I could have done it better. These are all reactive thoughts. A leader is always proactive and he is never reactive. So when talking about proactive, we should know whatever we decide to do. Obviously there would be barriers. We saw different games like hockey, football, the tennis or whatever you play. Any game that you play, you always have this player and his opponent. Okay, and there are always these barriers or hurdles that come your way, and only when you overcome that with a lot of positivity that you emerge victorious. That's the same logic that applies in our life also. Life is a game, and whenever you set out to achieve a goal, you will obviously have barriers, and you cannot say, oh my God, I didn't expect this barrier to come my way. And one very important barrier is our own thought, is our own self. As I always keep repeating, if you are here and your success is here, okay, what really prevents you from attaining your success is none other than your own self in the first place. So before the external barriers, we have this internal barrier of our thoughts, our beliefs, okay, and our convictions and our perceptions that really hinder our progress or stop our success. So the only person who can stop your success is nobody from outside but your own self. Okay, you can be your best friend or your worst enemy. Okay, so he says be proactive. Okay, when you set out to do something, expect the unexpected and still keep moving. Never give up is the slogan that we say at the end of every recording. Then he says begin with the end in mind. People, even when you set out to build something or do something, it is created, I would say 3 times. First in your mind, then on a sheet of paper, then in reality. So even when you build a house, you have this blueprint. Nobody starts building a house without a blueprint. So you see the complete picture. As a student, what is your complete picture? You take up the training program and you finish it successfully and you emerge victorious. Okay, without any error. You shouldn't regret at later stage. Okay, I could have scored better, or I could have prevented so many errors from happening. So always begin with the end in mind. First year, think about your third year and see the complete picture, and everything will sit in its place. Okay, fit into its place. Next we have put the first things first is about prioritization. Okay, and here I have in our leadership video also told you one of the stories about a professor who comes to class with a glass jar. He has so many big huge rocks in hand. He's got some pebbles and sand and a few other demonstrative materials in hand. He first drops these rocks into the jar and he asks his people, dear people, do you feel the jar is filled? And everybody, unanimously says, yes sir, it is filled. Now he takes the pebbles and puts them inside, and the students are so surprised. They say, sir, we thought like with the rocks inside, we thought that the jar is filled, but it still has place for pebbles. He said, that's it. Now he asks them again, do you think the jar is full? Yes, sir. Now we can be sure the jar is full. Now he takes the sand and he drops it into the jar. And now it beautifully goes and settles down. It could be accommodated. Students are again so surprised. Now he asks, do you feel the jar is full? And the students say, now we are sure, sir, the jar is filled. He takes a glass of water and pours it inside it. And now that again is, able to accommodate itself inside the jar. Now he explains, draws the moral to the story. He says, when you do the most A priority things in your life, okay, then do the B priority, the pebbles in your life, then the C priority, the sand kind of things in your life, okay, and the D priority, the water kind of things in your life, the recreational stuff and all the time wasters, your life is beautifully balanced, okay. That's exactly what we understand by first things first, okay. So already we've seen that under the 6P mantra, prioritize. And for a tree, okay, what is the A part of a tree? Is the root, and that's where we water it, and that's how the tree grows, okay. So always prioritize, he says. Next he teaches us about think win-win, okay. So I just wanted to show you this. There are like 4 types of people. The first type says always, I win and you lose. For these people, for them to win, this means somebody has to lose. That's not the right attitude. So these people are with a lot of superiority feeling, okay, and they are not going to be successful in their human relationship. Then you have people who say, I lose and you win. Why should that be? Okay, so these people have the inferiority complex, and that again is not the right attitude. If I lose, it doesn't mean if I lose only you are going to win. Okay, that again is wrong. And I lose, you lose is again a worst attitude of mind. Where people say I lose and you also lose. Let both of be losers. Okay, and a leader will never have any of these attitudes or mindsets. A leader falls into the last category, which is I win and you win. He says I should win and you should also win. That's exactly what he talks about. Think win-win. And you can also replace it with under transactional analysis, okay, which is again a beautiful topic. You have this again rewritten or said in a different way. It says like I am okay, you are not okay. Okay, I am not okay, you are okay. I am not okay, you are not okay. I am okay and you are okay. That's exactly a mindset a leader will have when he goes into any relationship. He accepts himself and he also accepts others. Then we have the 5th point, seek first to understand and then to be understood. Mostly, I see 95% of the time, 95% of the time we only think about receiving. I very hardly find people who think about giving. And it's what a pleasure and what a joy to be a giver. Okay, be a joyful giver. And if you have this habit of giving people and making them happy, it could be a wish on their birthday or a surprise gift. Okay, so even in a communication, instead of why do you have conflicts, arguments and all that, that's because people want to be first understood. First you understand, you will automatically be understood. Okay, so that he says first seek to understand, okay, then to be understood. So that's the communication circle. If you want the communication to be effective, then you should first understand. Okay, so when you understand, obviously that circle will be completed with people also being able to understand you. Then you have synergize. Okay, work as a team. Even when we spoke about our different parts of our body, how is that you're able to effectively function? Even if one part of your body is affected, okay, do you think it is not none of the botheration of the other parts of the body? No, every part of the body suffers with that part. So isn't that a very good explanation for teamwork? And don't you think every leader understands that together we achieve more? Okay, so together a team achieves more, because as a team we have a set of strengths and weaknesses in us, and your strength is complemented by your weakness is complemented by my strength, and vice versa. Okay, so synergize, he talks about the team effort which will give us its leader a real success. And finally he talks about sharpen the saw. And in this, I think I've already told you the story about two people who cut trees, okay, who cut trees, and one person was able to achieve more in an hour's time, and the other person was not able to, and so they had a real discussion, synergize, okay. So as a team, you sit and discuss, why am I not able to give the kind of output that you give? And so this successful person said, in between my cutting act, okay, I take time to sharpen my axe. And those are times, people, you spend in reflection, you spend in feedback. Just take meaningful pauses between your work, reflect upon what you are doing. Don't keep this COVID period also has given us a very, very reflective time where we are able to reflect upon the life we are leading. So thousands of people have added meaning into our life. This pause was really needed for us to really gather ourselves. So that's beautifully what Stephen Covey tells us about under 7 habits of highly effective people, and he's almost given you leadership in a nutshell for us to practice. Please do not miss reading this book. Okay, let us grow as leaders. Okay, every day. Never, never, never give up.